Stella El-Buoyadi-Van de Wetering is a professor of Arabic language and Islamic culture, originally from the Netherlands. Stella is an advocate of interreligious initiatives and ecumenism, also member of EPIA. She volunteered in Muslim families who came to the Netherlands, which gave her the opportunity to improve her Arabic and lead her on this path. Stella is the author of the book Reaching for the Sky, Religious Education from Christian and Islamic Perspectives, which was published in 2012. Hello everyone, welcome to our podcast. I'm here with Stella. Stella, please introduce yourself, who you are, where you're from.
I am Stella El-Buoyadi-Van de Wetering, and originally I am Dutch. My parents were Dutch. But I am from Nijmegen in the Netherlands, and it's at the German border. So my family always was a kind of going between the Netherlands and Germany. That's about where I come from. And then I thought, what study can I do? And of course Nijmegen also has a university, but I didn't want to go to Nijmegen.
Where did you encounter Islam first?
I met a Moroccan boy, but that was only shortly and it had already finished. But then I thought, when I would like to go and live in Morocco, what do I need? So I wrote a letter to the Moroccan embassy and I said, when I go to Morocco, what do I need? And they said, well, at least you should speak French and Arabic, or French or Arabic. And then I thought, well, maybe that's an idea. I could go to the university and learn Arabic. So I went to the university in Utrecht and I talked to the people there, and not very much students that were choosing to learn Arabic, so it was quite quiet there. But they said, well, every student we have, they always find a good result at the end. They find a good job or something. So I chose to do that. And another thing was that because I had this short relation with the Moroccan boy, I also was introduced to Islam. And it was in the time of the Ramadan. And I was very much impressed with it because I'm Roman Catholic. We also have our fasting time. And I tried to do this. And I liked it very much because it was in the beginning of the 70s. We were we want to improve the world. There should be no war anymore, and there should be no poor people and hunger and things like that. And what I felt by this Ramadan is that in one day you really had the feeling that you were hungry. Mm-hmm. And I was going to think, well, no, I haven't eaten all day, and I'm very glad that I can eat now, but suggest that I have nothing to eat and I must make another day. So for me it was very much the idea that you could imagine the situation of somebody who would have nothing to eat. So I like this fasting of the Muslims more. And then at night you could eat whatever you want, but because you didn't eat all day, you couldn't eat very much. So I did that on my own, without Muslims in my surrounding. Mm-hmm. I began fasting all Ramadan. Mm-hmm. And then in 73 I went to university and I went to study Arabic. And I started to study Arabic, and then I wanted to do some, what do you call it? Charity work?
Yeah.
Charity work. And then I went to a foundation that was helping foreign workers, mm-hmm. because that was the time that many mm-hmm. foreign workers came to the Netherlands.
Yes.
And I told them, well, I study Arabic, and maybe I could be of use to some Arabic family or... And then they sent me to a school where there were Moroccan children, and they said, we would like you to go to that family and help a little the children with the language and with... So I went to that family, and I knew only a few words of Moroccan. But the good thing was, we started Arabic, but they also gave us a course of Moroccan spoken Arabic, so I could a little bit communicate with them. And it was very good, because it was not a Tamazight or Berber family, because most Moroccans in Morocco are, but this was a Arabic-speaking Moroccan family. So that was very good for my Arabic and to communicate. And there was another Moroccan woman, I went to her to help her with Dutch. So I was busy. Yeah. Well, I studied Arabic. I started studying Arabic. And after 1 year, I met my nowadays husband. That was in 1974, a long time ago. And, well, of course, for Muslims, it's very important that they invite you to become Muslim. And for me, it was maybe even logical, because I was still doing this Ramadan on my own every year. But, well, my husband at that time was not really very strict in his religion, you know. He didn't pray. He even sometimes didn't fast. Someday he said, because he had friends and they would come to our house, and I talk with them also Arabic, you know. And then they asked me, it was almost Ramadan. And they said to me, are you going to fast? And I said to them, well, I'm hesitating because I'm fasting, but Muhammad isn't. And then he said, you shouldn't have tell that, because they will tell my father in Morocco. Yeah.
Have you ever lived in another Muslim country?
But then for 1 year I went to Egypt, and we were kind of living together. You could say that he was my partner. And he didn't like that. But I said, no, I go. This is my opportunity. And if I don't go, maybe after 10 years, I will still tell you that you didn't let me go. So it's better now to go. So I went. And after a year, I came back. In Egypt, it was so that even more people were pushing me to become Muslim, because I'm a Western girl talking Arabic, reading Arabic, you know. And if I was with the Christian Egyptians, they couldn't imagine that I had relation with Muslims. If I was with the Muslims, they said, well, but you should become Muslim. But I think they pulled a little bit too much. And when I came back, I saw my husband and I said, well, don't expect me to become Muslim ever. And he said, well, that's no problem. We are together and you go your way and I go my way, but it's no problem for me. Do as you wish. And then after, then I went to do my, now it's very different, this system of university, but we had 3 years, they called it candidaats that time. And then afterwards you had 2 years for your doctoral degree, not doctorate, but doctoral degree. It's now master. What's master now? So after I came back from Egypt, I began my new study in Amsterdam. So we both went to Amsterdam. And I never went with my partner to Morocco. And I think he was right, because in Morocco he was living with his parents in a village. And I think he rightly thought that it would be very difficult for me as a young European girl to go there and to integrate there in a village. By that time I also learned, because my husband, his background is Tamazight, Berber. And in my study they had also a course of Tamazight, so I did it. So I also began to speak a little Tamazight, not only Moroccan Arabic. Mm. And then at last, when was that? 1980 or 81, I think. He said, well, let's go to my parents. And then he said, but you must know, if you come to my parents, the first thing they will ask you is, are you Muslim? I thought that to him, well, I'll say inshallah or something. He said, no, my father will not accept such an answer. So I went with him to his village, and I was dressed up a little Moroccan, you know. I also liked And his mother was really very glad that I did speak Tamazight, because his parents didn't speak Arabic very well. A little bit, but not very well. And so she was very glad that I could talk to her. And they took me in their home, and they went to the guest room to have tea with them. And then the first question my later father-in-law, asked me was, are you a Muslim? And I told him, in his language, Tamazight, I told him, when I would become a Muslim, I can't become a Muslim because I'm with your son. I should become a Muslim from my heart. And that was the right answer. They really fully understood. And the next day they began to call me their daughter. But then at the end of the visit, my mother-in-law, she told me, look, what you do when you come back to the Netherlands, you go to pray. Nobody has to know. You just go to pray, and maybe you will find a way.
Did you have Muslim friends in the Netherlands?
And in the Netherlands I had a girlfriend. She became a Muslim. She was from a very... she was Dutch, but she was married to a man from a very modern Moroccan family. But she was also a pedagogue. And then she said to me, Stella, it's a little bit strange. Now, so long you are with this man, and kind of you live like a Muslim. You don't eat pork and you don't drink wine and things. Why don't you become a Muslim? Is it so difficult to become a Muslim? And then I said to her, well, when I'm honest, if I had never met my husband, I wouldn't have become a Muslim. And then she said, yes, but that's normal, that's natural, because such a step, you can do this alone. You need a community around you to support you. Well, and then I thought about my mother-in-law, and I went home, and I thought maybe I can try to learn this praying thing. And I was praying, and then I said to God, I was a Christian, and maybe I still am. And now I want to choose for the Islam. But if it's not the right choice, show me, because it's better to return in time than go the wrong way. But then I start praying and starting to be more convinced even, because my problem was also I learned much about the Islam, but maybe too much, because there are many wives of Moroccan, they just choose I'm Muslim, and they don't know what Islam is. But then I thought, well, in Christianity I had my problems with religion. Islam I have my problems, but let's see how I can get out of those problems. And I think, what was good is that I studied Arabic. So I know the language very well, and I could read the Quran. And what I noticed is that every text, the Bible or the Quran or the Torah, or you can explain it in different ways. So anyone who has learned the language knows that. So you have a text, but you can say it means that or that or that. And that's the same with the Quran. So many ways of explaining possible. And the hadith, I think many things are not really, you can trust them, because they began to write them down more than 100 years after the death of Muhammad. Just from people telling, I heard from that or that, and I've seen that. So I think it's not very trustworthy. But on the other hand, I see many nice examples, like you have in the, Gospels. You find nice stories about Jesus, and and can be an inspiration or example for you. And I started to wear the scarf, because my husband never said to me, you should wear a scarf or something like that. But on the other hand, I thought, I saw his family, and it's kind normal that you wear a scarf. And that times also there was a lot of problems in Israel with Palestine and things like that. And there was a woman who gave me a scarf that was a little bit like this Arafat scarf. You know it? At that time, many left-wing people had it as a sign that they are helping the Palestinians. Yes. So I liked it, and then I made it my scarf. And for me, it had the feeling that I'm wearing it also because I saw in the Dutch society many negative feelings towards Muslims and Muslim women, and then my feeling with it was, well, now I'm become a Muslim and I have a scarf, so what are you going to do now? So it was a kind of liberation for the Muslims who were living in the Netherlands. But my husband never said I should wear a scarf or something, and nowadays still he says, well, it's not really necessary if you don't want to do it. So sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't. And afterward I got work. I did my PhD in 91, yes. And I was doing research in the university, but it was also research also about Muslims. And there I was teaching Arabic and some things about Islam. And later on I went to the university, and at the Faculty of Theology, they also had a theology. It was religion, science and Islam. Many Muslim students came there. So Arabic was with theory for them, and they learned a lot about Islam, but also about other religions. So where I went to work at the vocational training and at the university, my scarf was wanted. I would have disappointed them when I would put off my scarf, you know. So a little bit the other way. Well, and I kept on working there, and I loved working with the students. And but now in 2020, I got retired, and that's very good because I now I have much more time with my grandchildren. But now I'm also busy because I'm also a translator, Dutch Arabic.
Wow.
And I have to prolong my registration before February next year. If I don't do that, I will lose my license to be a translator. And first I thought, well, I'm old, it's enough, you know.
How old are you?
21 of February next year, I will be 70.
Okay, good.
Not so old,
Not so
but
old.
no. So I thought, well, but it's a shame just to let it go. So I put some effort in getting all those you must have permanent education points. So I put some effort in it, and I think I'm going to get it, and then I can prolong my registration for 5 years.
Good.
And it's not that I do translating very much, but I'm working with a man who has a translating bureau or something. So it's a kind of something it's not daily work, but sometimes I like to do that. And therefore I need a registration. Yeah. That's it.
So the previous interviewee asked a question for you, and the question is, if you would change the world, what would be the one thing that you would change? But you can say several things if there are.
Yes, of course. Yes, I can say that it's impossible to change the world, and there's a Dutch proverb that says, it says maybe also in English, if you want to change the world, begin with yourself.
How does it sound in Dutch?
Even kijken, als je de wereld wilt verbeteren, begin dan bij jezelf. It's like, yeah. And I think that's also good working on yourself, but you must also be aware that you can't do anything. If I would so be eager to do something for these poor people in Gaza. It's terrible. It's terrible. And I try to do something, you know, they have those actions, avars, that you can put your signature that all war crimes in Gaza should stop and things like that. I don't know whether it's going to help. Yeah, improve the world. I think first you have to go in your own surroundings. And I think a big trouble is, we were talking about it yesterday, the traumas. So many people are living, and mostly it is because of their parents or upbringing or family or the way the teachers, you know, and that's a pity. So there should be put a lot of work in learning people how they should raise their children and how you can put more love in upraising children. I think if the children are raised with love, they can spread the love in the world.
Thank you for being with us.
You're welcome.